Antlion's two new mod mics, the USB 2 and the Uni 2, claim to be much improved. So today we're going to explore what these mics can do, tell you if you need them, and give Antlion at least 5 concrete suggestions.
Namaste, we're DHRME, dudes harmoniously recommending microphone epicness. So what are these products? They're boom mics that attach to your existing headphones. The Uni 2 attaches via 3.5mm and the USB 2 via USB-A. A lot of USB. But let's start with the Uni 2.
Now looking at the build quality of these two products, these are pretty decently built. This has a metal thing that stays in place, if you move it around, so that's good, as you would expect from a boom mic. The Uni 2 that I have on now, and the audio you're listening to, by the way, comes with a 3.5mm termination. Unfortunately, there are no other attachments, which is kind of one of my peeves with this. Is I have a Scarlett 2i2 audio interface, and that accepts a 1/4 inch or XLR style input, and I cannot use those microphone inputs because this just ends with the 3.5mm. It's interesting how they do the attachment of the microphone to your headphones. So what I've done now is they give you a magnetic base plate, and that base plate is basically stuck using adhesive. So I took off this kind of adhesive cover, and once you stick it on the side, the microphone itself, it has also this kind of star shaped pattern here, just like this guy. This will be attached to your microphone, and this is the microphone itself, and voila, they come together magnetically, and this is not going anywhere. So the adhesive is pretty good quality, but so is the boom mic itself. And this has pluses and minuses, and I'm thinking about my particular use case. Now it's nice that you have an extra base plate in the box, by the way, so you can connect this to a couple of headphones. Installation is also very easy. Just stick the adhesive part, hold it down for 60 seconds, let it dry for an hour. I didn't do that, but it still kind of worked. And you have nice cable clasps to keep things in place. So you see this kind of bit, which is attached to the cable of my HD600 here. And this thing kind of helps make the cables kind of run down together. So that's a nice touch. And it can also deal with this pretty thick boy, kind of a dual cable that the HD600 has. So the clasps are pretty good. Frustratingly for me, the box that this comes in, okay, it's an okay box. For a microphone which you're not going to carry around many places, it's good. It's hard shell as well. But one thing I will really complain about is inside, they have this kind of netted part in which the cable is dumped when you start off unboxing this. And inside that you get this kind of really, how do you explain this? Plastic bag thingy, which has the base plates and those kind of cable clasps and things like that, which is a little bit frustrating because they could have just had kind of some sort of Velcro pouch in one of these places, and you could just put everything in it and take them out if you needed to. So frustrating, but decent that they actually have a case in the box, which not many other products would give. Now the physical mute switch on this is really good. So we are now talking about the Uni 2. We'll come to the USB 2 in a bit, and whether you should buy this over that, because there is a price difference. But the physical switch here is very nice, and of course it works. I'm gonna just demonstrate how the physical switch works. I'm gonna turn it off. And thank you once more. So this physical switch has a nice clicky mechanism which ends up muting it. Very nice. It doesn't light up or anything, but it does move position, so you can tactile also kind of feel where you are. So that is the Uni 2, as they say. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the USB 2 microphone for talking about the USB 2 microphones. You can try and tell me. Listen carefully to see if there's any difference in audio between these two products. Let's do that. All right, so now we've switched to, the hell is this, man? All right, after a lot of struggling, I've managed to get this guy on because I kind of flipped it around. Don't worry, the mic is fine. It's just, I just played around with the steel boom to see if it was strong and stayed in place, and it did. That's good. But what you're hearing now is the USB 2, and essentially this is the same product but with a USB termination, which means it gives you a few more features. You can have like a power button on your microphone, so which is powered by USB, and that's this one. So this is not a switch but a button, and when I press it, and thank you so much for watching. Stay subscribed. And you can see that the light came on when you pressed it down. I'd argue that this is probably not as satisfying as having a real switch, and especially if you're working, this is probably invisible to you, and you're probably gonna rely on tactile feel more than, let's say, a button which lights up, but you know, it's nice, it's kind of cool. I won't complain too much about it. When you plug this into your laptop like I did, it does get picked up as a microphone and it shows up as Antlion microphone. It worked flawlessly for me. I have a USB-C based MacBook obviously, and I also tried the adapter, and the adapter also worked well. So USB A to C, no surprise, it's not the most challenging thing, but something to remember that you're going to have to use the adapter if you want to go into a device that does not have USB A. Now the same, you know, magnetic base plate kind of system is also part of the USB version, and yeah, that's basically the main differences. The biggest difference I think is the price, and we're going to come to that. First, let's look at some things that are in common between these two products. Now this boom mic, as I said, I was bending it around, and you do need to do that because the closer it is to your mic, the better it's going to pick up your voice. So this metal kind of boom mic is pretty solid. You bend it, it stays in place. You bend it backwards, it also stays in place, and it does need to be closer to your mic to pick up your voice better. So I've bent it a bit more closer, and you see that it picks up my voice a little bit better. Now upsides, you can't beat physics. A dark stick extending to your mouth is going to make its presence felt. As far as audio is concerned, latency, these are going to kick ass because they're wired, so there's no Bluetooth delay. There's no charging because these are connected. There's no separate charging process that you have to do. They're always on. Noise rejection should be better. Here's a test to see if noise rejection is good, and we'll move the microphones in different positions relative to your mouth and see how that performs. All right, mic rejection test on the Antlion Uni 2. Pop, pop, popsicle. 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 All right, mic rejection test on the Antlion ModMic USB 2. Let's go. Pop, pop, popsicle. 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 And the biggest upside here should be the quality of the microphones, because these are dedicated hardware boom microphones with wires, and Antlion does talk a big game about signal to noise ratio. Now I am not going to test that. I'm not going to record it, look at the noise floor, etc., because it's more useful in my view to actually use these microphones in a video like this, because that's what they're going to be used for: phone calls, content creation, etc. So we'll come to the samples in a bit, but let's first talk downsides. These do need 3.5mm jack or USB cable. It's a tethered experience, right? Compared to something like the DJI mic, which you can just clip on to your shirt or whatever and move around. This is a tethered experience. So taking it outside is going to be that much more difficult, or I'll say I won't even do it. It's way too much work for way too little result. Plosives and pops is a big downside. So if I'm going to say pop, pop, popsicle, popping those popsicles, the plosives can sometimes be pretty annoying. I'm not sure if you heard that, but that's kind of the downside of having a microphone very close to you. And the adhesive, the nature of the adhesive kind of design limits it to certain cans. For example, these are the HD600 and it's fine, you know, it's just taking up a small place on these cans. But say you have a touch control surface here, you're not going to be able to use them. Also, having those base plates, say you have 2 or 3 base plates, but you have a lot of headphones, we don't have a problem, you have a problem. That is going to be a tricky thing as well, because you have 2 or 3 of these things, and then what are you going to do with the rest? And when I switched up these headphones from the Uni 2 to the USB 2, even now, it was kind of a pain, because okay, nice that these cable clasp things are there, you know, they keep your cable running well, but it's still a cable, which means every time you switch this microphone out, it's nice that this bit is magnetic, but this bit is not. The cables have to be kind of plucked out of those clasps as well, which again is going to limit you moving these mics across headphones. So what are our suggestions before we get to the real mic samples at the end of this video? Volume and gain control, that is just absent in both these mics. At least I haven't seen it. There is no app for the USB mic, which I guess they could introduce. There are no 1/4 inch attachments, like I said, for the Uni 2. That would be really nice to have. There should be a better Velcro system for the pouch for smaller bits. And I would say, think out of the box, ModMics. You guys have been doing this for a while. This design I know has existed for a while. Figure out some sort of clasp system that can be clasped onto your headband or whatever, that works with multiple models. I know it's easy to say, it's hard to do, but that would really help me move across headphones much better, or at the very least have magnetic clasps for the cables which can stay in place on the headphone, and you can interchange headphones much quicker. Since the microphone samples are very long, we leave them at the end of the video. You can kind of go through them. There's noisy conditions, quiet conditions. So go ahead, take your time, listen to that. But who are these for? I will say that these mics sound pretty damn good, as expected, close to your mouth. They are not very good with noise cancellation, in the sense when we were playing noisy samples, you could hear the noise. So it's not doing anything software wise. I think it's all hardware that's doing it. And when you use these microphones, the interesting thing is that you have to kind of point a particular part of the mic to your mouth. So this is the microphone icon. I'm not sure if you can see that. So you do have to point it to your mouth to get the best effect. So what's my conclusion? Do I love these? I think they're pretty good, and I'm going to use them because I use my HD600 for work, because they're one of the most comfortable headphones. You can hear what's happening around you, and this microphone makes a great addition for that. So far I've used my MacBook Pro microphone, or a stand mic like the JBL Quantum Studio, or the Sennheiser Profile, and those are also nice microphones. But in this context, it's easy for me to just put on my headphones. I know my mic is there. Nobody cares that I look like a 90s Wall Street banker, because this is work. Who else? I guess gamers, the gamer look, right? One thing Clinical said is you don't need special gaming headsets, and I think this is an excellent example of using very good headphones that you already have, that work well for you, they're comfortable, sound good, with a dedicated solution for audio, for microphones, and it's plug and play. Once it's plugged, you can just go. And content creators, actually, I wouldn't hesitate to use this, except for it looks a bit clunky, and I'm not going for the Louis Rossmann look. But if I were, and hey, mad respect to you, Louis, I would definitely use this, because in content creation, audio is way more important than video, as you can see by the poor video quality that we are putting out. Definitely, in a pinch, if I had nothing else, I'd use this over my phone or anything, because it doesn't capture too much room noise. And maybe we start a podcast. Do you think we should start a podcast? Should you buy the ModMic USB, or should you buy the ModMic Uni? So the Uni 2 costs $60 and the USB 2 costs $90. My advice, I don't see why anyone would buy the USB 2, because fine, it has a USB termination, but what else does it give you? I don't even like the mute switch as much as I like the mute switch on the Uni. It is $30 cheaper, which is no joke. You're not getting $30 more of microphone. Overall, I don't see any reason to get the USB mic unless you do not have a 3.5mm cable on your setup. But yeah, if you're at a desktop or a laptop, I'm pretty sure you have that. So just save your money, buy the Uni 2. It does a great job. It does everything the USB 2 can do.
All right, just a quick disclaimer before you guys head off. ModMic did send us these mics, but they were just for review purposes. They did not get any input into this video, so this is an unbiased and independent review. And we are able to do these kinds of reviews thanks to you guys, our patrons and YouTube members. Thanks a bunch for your financial support, and a special thanks goes out to our Fuckmontier, Gamma Panda, and Paula. Thank you guys very, very much. Uni have been saving $30, and we've been DHRME. Dewey.
Stay for the samples. All right, let's do a mic test with different mic sources. We are starting off with the Antlion ModMic USB 2. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to the Antlion ModMic Uni 2, which is the one with the 3.5mm headphone jack. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Now the MacBook Pro microphone, which is about an arm's length away from me. Let's see how that does. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Now we have the iPhone, which is about an arm's length away as well. Let's keep it at the same distance as the MacBook Pro. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is about an arm's length away from me as well. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. So this is the DJI Mic 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. And the reason you're seeing Osmo Pocket up here in the sources is because this is connected to my DJI Pocket 3. The webcam, the Razer Kyo Pro Ultra. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. And these are the AirPods 3 in quiet conditions again. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to try some background noise. Keep it very simple. It's just some people talking and some kind of traffic. It's going to be about 65 to 70 dBA. So let me get that started. You're listening right now to the MacBook Pro microphone. The reason I'm starting it with this is this should capture kind of the background ambience so you can hear what I'm hearing as well. It's about 75, 78 dBA. So that's the MacBook Pro microphone. This is my voice. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. The Antlion USB 2 ModMic 2 microphone. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. The Antlion ModMic 2, the regular Uni one with 3.5mm headphone jack. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. The DJI Mic 2 connected via the Osmo Pocket 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. And now the AirPods Gen 3. How do they sound? Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3.